Paco.
Greetings! Welcome! Hello! I'm the Incredible Paco and welcome back for some more Super Mario Maker 2. In today's episode, we are going to be building a level, and this is my first time doing a video like this. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. So for step 1, I think you need a theme and a dream. And for this level, I'm thinking it's going to be a platformer. It's either going to be SMB1 or SMB3. I think I would also like to use the forest theme as well. And let's make this super funky by getting the nighttime theme. So I'm gonna search for enemies and I'm gonna look for the angry sun. There it is. So now I'm gonna place the sun and I'm gonna select it, hold down, make it a moon. And after selecting the moon, you now have a nighttime theme. I no longer need the moon, so we can get rid of it. The next step for me is deciding what kind of enemies you want to build around. And even though we have access to a bunch of different ones, I like sticking to, you know, a certain kind of theme, maybe like 3 or 4 of the same type. For this one, we are going to use the childish Goombinos. I also want to use the thwomps, and in my SMB3 ROM hack, I actually used a lot of sideways thwomps. We now have the ability to change direction on thwomps. I'm also interested in exploring the claws, so let's just drag this in here as well. And I think for the most part, I want to design the level around thwomps, little Goombas, and the claw. Alright, so now we're gonna select the ground and let's have Mario jump a bit of a gap to start here. Also, we can start to move some of these enemies away. But I can have them here to reference to copy and paste. Alright, let's check out our first jump here. Yeah, that's a good distance. So I think I'm gonna have Mario jump right on one of these little pumpkin dudes. And he's going to avoid a sideways thwomp, which is sort of gonna set the pace for the rest of the level. Okay, so let's move the Goomba here. And then maybe we'll have the thwomp down below. Let's see, how does this look? Okay, not bad. Alright, so we can see here we're gonna have Mario jumping off of the Goomba. And let's have Mario jump to a pipe. So we're gonna go over to terrain. We're gonna select the pipe. Let's put the pipe here. Okay, so we put the pipe here. Let's extend it up. And let's make a copy of it so we have a bit of a runway here. Alright, let's test how this first jump feels. That is pretty good. And so, continuing with the theme, I think I'm gonna get another sideways thwomp here. And we're gonna angle a jump down below to some more ground. Okay, so we're gonna reach over here. We're gonna copy a thwomp over. And then, where do I want Mario to jump to? So I want him to angle down. But to do that, I'm gonna need a pipe above to sort of force a different jump, just so it's not hold right. And I wanna make the player think a bit. So we've got a pipe. Let's do something like this, and then we can set more ground as well. Let's see, how does this look? Also, I want to try to keep it too high. Anytime the ground is going to be more than too high, I'm going to have a pipe there. All right, let's test this out. Okay, cool. So I already know that I'm going to have another thwomp jump here. And I feel like the beginning part looks a bit empty, so let's actually copy over one of the pipes. Let's move it over here like this. And you know what? I think I'm actually gonna put a second one as well. I like the effect, but maybe I'll push the pipes up just a little bit. Yeah, I think I like this more. Alright, now let's copy a thwomp over like this. And let's get our first claw into play here. Something like this maybe. So what I want to do is I want to have just sort of like swinging momentum. And the player will sort of continue to climb up. Something like this. Up. I mean, this feels okay so far. I can also drag this over. I think the level's gonna be quite a bit longer, so let's get the goal out of our way. And I actually just got an idea. Maybe it's gonna be a bit freaky, but let's see what this is like with a fast auto scroll. Okay, up, down. I mean, I kinda like it. Auto scroll will probably give us problems later with getting too far ahead of the screen, but I think for now we're gonna work with this. Okay, so I've been tweaking the positioning a bit just to get it feeling better. I think I want to space these claws out a bit more now though. Okay, so the jumps are feeling good, but I feel like I'm getting too far ahead of the screen. We need to come up with a way to slow Mario down. We could try to double stack the thwomp here just so that Mario has to jump up a bit more. Yeah, that definitely slows me down. Feels pretty good. So I have to test whether you can jump over the thwomps. I don't think you can. The fact that I make you jump over, hit the ground, go to the right again, That should slow you down enough to give the screen scroll a bit of time to get ahead. Although, I feel like the double stacked thwomp looks kind of ugly. Why don't we just try to make it a big mama jama? Something like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Also at the start, I was discussing whether we were going to be doing SMB1 or SMB3. Let's see what SMB3 looks like. I think I like this more. This is pretty funky. I like the purple. I like the pipes. We will probably switch to SMB3. Oh man, I really like the music too. Cool. So we have like our first little bit of the level done. But now I'm feeling like it's looking a bit empty in between these claws. Let's see what kind of terrain we're working with. How about we try the mushroom platform? Place it down like this. Extend it down. And let's set it green to start. And now let's put a saw over top of it. So something like this, and let's see how it plays. Okay. Ooh, that just seems too high. Hold on, let's try to bring this down a bit. I think it's really important to, you know, really playtest your levels. And don't upload it until you're fully satisfied with it. Okay, that's cool. Let's keep getting these mushroom saw things going up. And then, what am I gonna have Mario land into? Also, this might seem really dumb, but I want to have the colors alternating. I don't want the red, but we're gonna go in between the green and the yellow. All right, we'll set this to green. Also, with multi-grab, you're able to copy and paste both at the same time. So I hit my left trigger and it's multi-grab. I select both, I hit it again, copy, bam, you got the same shape, you can move it anywhere. Maybe I'll have Mario jump onto one of the little pumpkins, except this time the pumpkin will have a parachute. Also, that's not a parachute, that is wings. That is a parachute. Not even close, not even close. Also, I feel like I'm starting to get a bit too far ahead of the screen again. So one really good way to slow the player down is by having a vertical pipe and then a platform dropping below. So let's set the pipe in. We're gonna have it go from the top of the grid. And how low do we want it to go? Maybe something like this. Next up, we're gonna look for a blue platform, which conveniently enough is right here. And so in Mario Maker 2, you can actually adjust the size of the lifts, which I think is pretty cool. So maybe we'll put something like this. Okay, that works. Also, you can see that I now have more time to play with. I'm not catching up too much onto the screen. I can see what's coming out. Also, another thing to note, if you look at my creation so far, nothing goes above this line here, and that is done for a reason. So let's say I was going to place, let's say I put a lift up here. Watch what happens. When I jump up, the camera goes with me. If you keep everything below the bottom grid, the camera will not pan. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with camera panning, you just then have to design around it. But for the sake of this level, we're gonna keep it all in the bottom half, and we're just not gonna worry about the camera. Okay, I kinda like this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it next, but I like what we have so far. Let's try and get Mario to jump from one of these little Goombas onto another one. Okay, so that landed pretty nicely. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the silhouette, and I actually adjusted the Goomba here because I want to force Mario to get really close to the purple swamp water. And maybe I'll reward you and I'll put some coins there. Not just any coins, 50 coins. Drop them down like that, cool. And then let's put some pipes here, and maybe we can put some thwomps on top of the pipes. Hold on, no, wrong way, wrong way. Got another pipe. Let's see what this looks like with some thwomps here. Okay, not bad. We can put a 50 coin above as well. Maybe if somebody gets us an endless, they'll be like, oh, thanks, Paco. And now let's experiment with where we want our next little Goomba pumpkin thing. Like this? I mean, it's kind of tough to account for the parachute sway. Only one way to find out. It was not good. All right, let's move it one to the left. That's much better. Let's get a bit of ground back. Maybe we'll set some down like this. Also, I didn't even realize what it looks like if you just put it sideways like that. I feel like these pipe tiles are really pretty. Although, I don't know if I like this connecting thing here. So I can actually copy and paste over, and then you can get rid of that. Although, if you like any of the effects that come up, you can actually copy paste them and put them on other parts of the level as well. Okay, so this would be a pretty good spot to put a thwomp jump. Let's get one of these big dudes. Okay, so I don't want this to be just hold right. And I'm also starting to get a bit ahead of the screen, so maybe if I push the thwomp to the left, I'll force Mario to sort of pull back a bit. Alright, now we have to decide what we want to do next, and I know one of the moves that I want to throw into the level. I want Mario to somehow get a mushroom and then ride along a thwomp. But we've still got a lot of level to work with. Let's keep it going. I could also probably be nice and give another 50 coin here. Yeah, let's do that. So, look at that, 150 quick coins. You're welcome, endless players. Okay, so maybe I'll have you jump into a claw. And maybe I'll give you your mushroom here. So get the mushroom, put it in like this. Okay, I like that. And again, I'm getting a bit ahead, so maybe I'll do another pipe with falling platform trick. That looks maybe right from the silhouette. Also, I don't actually want this mushroom. Go away, mushroom. There we go. So let's see how this works. No, that's too far. Okay, that's good. And so I'm gonna extend the goal again. Alright, so based off of the silhouette, we can extend the ground out here. And so now I'm gonna come up with a new way to slow the player down. Instead of going down, it's gonna be on the way up. And I'd like to create a bridge and have a mini Goomba. And then as Mario's zigging and zagging around, I'm eventually going to have Mario riding on top of a thwomp. First, let's make our bridge though. Let's maybe make it 10 high. Now we can grab the bridge and maybe put it like this, one up, down, doesn't matter, probably not. And so we're gonna have it be 3 wide. And we're also going to grab a pipe again. And we're gonna encase this area here with the 2 pipes. Bring it down over. So now we can get the little pumpkin, and let's try the placement here. Okay, that was pretty tight. That was pretty tight. Maybe I can get a bit more leeway by raising this. Okay, that feels better. That feels better. And then maybe I'll have you walk off onto a claw. And this seems like a pretty good spot to introduce the thwomp that we want to ride. So we're going to set it to the right. And how do we want to do this? From the silhouette, we can place the claw. Let's try maybe something like that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping the thwomp would go a bit faster. Maybe we won't go swing into the thwomp. Maybe we'll get another parachute Goomba. Let's try placing it here and see how that lines up. Okay, not great. Not great. Maybe I want to move it 2 to the right. Something like that. No, still not good. We've got to find the sweet spot. Alright, so I shifted this over 1. That might help with the distance. Okay, that is good. That is good. If I was gonna make this a harder level, I would have the player just land on the thwomp. But I want to have a pipe there to assist the player. I feel like along this line in the grid here, this looks pretty good. This is where I pulled back to stabilize. And so I want to then catch the thwomp, run and jump onto a claw maybe, and then take the claw to the goal. Although, maybe we can make it more interesting. Maybe I'll have you, you know, grab a spring, jump into the claw, drop the spring into the lava, and then bump into the goal. First, let's see if this works, though. Maybe I'll put coins to indicate what to do. So I do stick the landing on the thwomp. That's pretty good. And then maybe I'll have a spring flying here, and I'll have another claw here. Also, I want the thwomp to stop. So I could have a thwomp coming from the other direction. And then once the 2 collide, it'll stop going towards the goal. Let's try something like this. Alright, so I didn't have them at the right lining. Let's move this down 1, maybe to the right 1. Also, let's put our spring inside our claw. So spring is going to be under gizmos. Put it like this, and if you click on it, you can put wings. And then we can get the claw, which we have saved here. And hold on, let's eyeball and let's think about this. Okay, so we're actually gonna pull the goal a bit closer, and I have an idea here. So we can see that we drop the spring here, and then we can get a big thwomp dude as kind of the final obstacle. Maybe place him like this. Okay, that feels pretty good. I think I can make a few little tweaks. What if we shift these both over 1? Okay, so I spent about 20 minutes making little minor gameplay tweaks. You know, moving things like 1 to the left, 1 to the right, up 1, up down. Also, a few adjustments to the aesthetics, but I think we're mostly good. The last thing I want to test is whether you can wait on the claw and go on your second swing. I'm hoping you can. Fast strats is obviously to do it all in one go. But after we check that out, I think we're about ready to upload this. Okay, swing, swing, drop it. Pop it. Yes. Okay, I really like that. So there's a fast strat, there's a slow strat. This ending move is actually going to trip a lot of you up, but I'm leaving it in to teach you. There's going to be so many setups in this game where you'll benefit from knowing how to drop something while still holding the jump button down. It's pretty much all you have to do. Like, jump, let go of the grab button, and then that's how you'll do the final part. I know a lot of people let go of jump and run at the same time, but if you have trouble with that, in certain setups you can actually hold down, you know, the left or the right trigger button. And then even if you let go of both, you'll actually still get a max jump. That is hopefully a helpful tip. But yeah, I'm gonna take one more quick glance and then I think it's time to upload this level. Oh my god, I just realized we gotta get some sound effects, y'all. Wait, is this actually the name of a sound effect? You know what? I'm gonna fill this up with applause. If you make it this far, I'm proud of you. Alright, I think we're finally ready to upload. I looked over the level several times. Just have to do the clear check, and then we're on our way. Woo! The Swamp Romp. It's a dumb name, but it makes me laugh. Okay, so far so good. Let's get this in one shot. Alright, I'm doing the granny strats. Don't judge me. There we go. There we go. So, yeah, this one shouldn't be too difficult. The server is currently undergoing maintenance. We apologize for any inconvenience. What do you mean? That's a big inconvenience, Nintendo. Alright, so the red flag in the top left corner means that we still have the clear check. This is good. It means I don't have to re-upload it. All that I have to do is press a button or two. And after pressing OK, my first level should be uploaded. Apparently I have to do a few more OKs. Write a course description. This is new. This is my first time doing this. Alright, after hitting back like 8 times, even if I was to spot a typo now, I'm not changing anything. This is the description. Oh my god, there's more steps? I think we're gonna settle on auto-scroll and short and sweet. Now, hopefully, the level is getting uploaded. There we go, the level is finally uploaded, HBD BP2 F6G. If you end up playing this level, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about it. Also, what did you guys think about this video format? It's my first time doing something like this, maybe I'll never do it again, but maybe I will. But yeah, this seems like a pretty good spot to wrap things up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more of me, be sure to hit the subscribe button or check me out on Twitch. I'm streaming every weekday. Take it easy, y'all.